I'm going to start. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let us start now. So good morning and afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending this session today. My name is Sandra Celemin. I am here today to talk about your university progression and what support we can offer you. Before we start, I just want to mention that I am open to any questions you might have along the presentation. So please feel free to use the Q&A section to submit your questions, which I will be really happy to answer at the end or during the presentation. It's okay with me. Okay. So what are we going to cover during this presentation today? I'm going to explain who is the UPS team, what are we expecting from you, what can UPS offer, where can you apply, application process, application methods, the main contact details for you from now on, and we will end up with the questions and answers. I hope it's okay with everyone. Okay. So who is the UPS team? UPS stands for University Placement Service. The UPS team is part of the Kaplan Pathways and is created to support the transition of the pathway students to the host university. Okay, that means to the original study plan. In your case, for all of your students, Mr. Lee, is the University of Nottingham that we are talking about. We have counselors in each of our pathway colleges follow up the progression activities to our host along the academic year and work very close to the college services and academic services team to guarantee the smooth transition to the university. Okay. The UPS counselor job doesn't stop just there. We also support the students that for different reasons cannot progress to the initial university choice. And so with our help, they are able to continue their pathway to the higher education. I believe the group of the students that are attending today, today's session are the ones that are already start the foundation in science and engineering in Nottingham, or will start in the coming months to progress to the MF pharmacy degree at the University of Nottingham. Mr. Lee from People Loving Education has talked to us and asked about the support we can offer all of you, just in case you face some challenges along the course, such as struggling with academic requirements or not doing well during the interview. Okay. What are we expecting from you? The University of Nottingham International College team is prepared to offer you all the support you need to facilitate your studies along the academic year, and will guide you continuously to help you achieve the entry requirements to start the university degree in September 2022. We will expect you to achieve the following at the end of the foundation. So we will, or the university will take into account 3 different aspects to allow you to progress there. Oh, sorry, to allow you to progress. So one of them is the academic score. The university is expecting you to achieve at the end of the foundation certificate 55% academic overall, and you will need to achieve 60% in your chemistry module and 60% in your biology module. The second aspect that they take into account is the English score. So at the end of the foundation, the university is expecting you to achieve 70 overall. That is more or less the equivalence of 7.0 in IELTS, 60 in listening, 60 reading, 60 writing, and 60 in speaking minimum. Okay. And the third aspect is the interview. So you have to pass successfully the interview at the end of the course as well. And this interview will be scheduled by the university in the coming year. So this year was, as far as I remember, it was in March, April, the interviews. So before that, the college will give you all the guidance and some tips to prepare you, to help you to prepare for the interview at the university. If you have any concerns achieving this, the UPS counselor and the team will be happy to assist and support you applying to alternative universities as a Plan B option. We can start your Plan B applications as soon as you are ready to do it. If at the end of your foundation, you successfully progress to the University of Nottingham, then we will cancel your Plan B choices. It's not a problem, okay? Let me move this from my way.
잠시 2분 뒤에 클로징하고 우리가 어떤 내용을 제가 진입이 한번 할게요.
Okay. Plan B option. Just to clarify, the Plan B option is an alternative. It's just an alternative. It's the backup plan just in case you cannot make it to Nottingham. Okay? The college will continue supporting you all the way through to go to your original destination, that is Nottingham. And the UPS counselor will assist at the same time with your Plan B application if you need to. Okay? What can UPS offer? So working with and for our students is a great experience, and wherever you are ready to start the Plan B process, we will be ready to offer you one-to-one sessions through different means of communication, like face-to-face, emails, Zoom sessions, WhatsApp, WeChat, whatever suits you best. Personalized guidance in selecting the program and institute that suit your interests and needs. You will benefit from our extensive network of partner universities and colleges. We will complete the application forms and guide you through the required steps. So you don't need to be worried about it. You will receive support throughout the application. Combined with our wealth of experience, we can help you gain entry to the university courses in the UK. We will liaise directly with the universities on your behalf. And we will accompany you until we are sure you have completed all the process, you get the cash at the end. We will give you some guidance with the university for the visa process, and then you are ready to start the course at the university, okay? So our help is not just at the beginning, it's all the way through until the end, until we guarantee that everything is okay for you. As I mentioned before, you will benefit from our extensive network of partner universities and colleges. So where you can apply? That is the other question. We have an extensive list of partner universities that accept applications from our team. Not all of them fit into this map, but it's just to give you an idea that we have plenty of choices around the UK. Our student applications receive special attention as well for these and other universities that we have strong links with admission departments. But this list of university doesn't limit the places where we can apply. If the university you are looking for is different, or the course you are looking for is available somewhere else in the UK, still we are able to apply for you. It's not a problem. We will select the universities together and we'll decide together where you are going to apply to. Based on our experience, we have a list of the most popular choices for pharmacy students. They are very popular among our students, and you can select them as part of your selections. So these are the most popular among our students in the last couple of years. As you can see from the list, every university have their own entry criteria. Sometimes they just request an academic overall, and sometimes they also add module entry requirements. So we have to take that into consideration. The majority also include the interview and personal criminal conviction certificate. So it's important to bear that in mind. The entry requirements are just a guidance. This table are just a guidance, as they can change from year to year without a previous notice. But at least it's giving you an idea what other universities are expecting you to achieve at the end of your foundation course. Okay, so this is some of the universities that we normally apply for pharmacy courses. And this is a continuation of the university list. And I have also highlighted some universities in red, which are the ones that are unlikely to make an offer. These universities are very popular with the students, and sometimes they would like to apply there, but we have to be honest from the beginning. They don't accept the foundation certificate. They have their own entry criteria. The students might need to do A-levels or different courses. So it's not down to us to, we try to talk to them and everything, but it's not possible. They don't consider our foundation. So sometimes the students are reluctant and say, but I want to apply there. So we can add the application, but it's more likely that it's not going to be accepted or they are going to release an offer. From the other universities that you can see in both lists, the universities will have a look at the application process, and they will look at the form. If they have any kind of questions or queries about a specific prompts, we will provide all the information, and hopefully the student can get an offer for that from that place. Okay. So what happened? What is the application process? This slide gives you a general idea of what is going to happen during the application process. First, we need to collect all the relevant documents. Collecting documents is a very important part of the application process, as the completion of those will help the university to take a decision about your application faster. We will ask you to complete our authorization form that will allow us to liaise directly with the universities on your behalf. Of course, we will need the high school transcripts and a copy of your your passport. But of course, if you are doing all the application process with Kaplan for the foundation, we might have copy of these certificates in our system. If not, we will let you know, and we will take separate another high school transcript copy or copy of the passport. Another requirement for the applications is the academic reference. So we will be providing the reference for all of the students, all our students, and we will send them directly to the university. So you don't need to worry about them. If you have any academic reference from your high school back home, and you have a copy already, you can send it to us as well, and we can add it to the application process later on if it's needed. The personal statement is another document that we will need, and is the document that will introduce you to the university, and is when where you are going to express your interest in the subject, future plans, your strengths, etc. We will give you some tips of how to do it, so you don't struggle about it. Depending on the university that you are applying for, they might request additional documents like additional examinations or the interview or the criminal records, as I mentioned before. We'll keep you informed about those extra requirements, but to start the application, of course, we don't need that. We need just at the beginning the high school transcripts, the passport, the reference, and the personal statement is very important, and the authorization form. So we are able to contact the students on your the university on your behalf. While you are collecting the documents for us or preparing the personal statement, we will work together selecting the universities you can apply for. So we can look at the list I mentioned before, I just showed you before in my slides. And we will take a decision, and taking into account your interest, the location that you are looking for, the entry requirements is vital. We are going to advise you to have different entry criteria grades for the universities that you are going to apply for, because of course they are a plan B option. We don't want you to go for universities that have a high entry requirement, because if you cannot make it for Nottingham, it's going to be difficult for you to go to those universities we are applying. So we will try to keep a balance with the universities that you are applying for. So maybe if you are looking for something really high, we can take one university, one in the middle, and 2 or 3 in the lower level, just in case, because this one is your plan B option. Okay. This selection will be a joint effort between you and us to select the best choices for you. The next step will be for us to complete the application for each university that you are applying for. As an international student, we can apply through Ucas, or we can send direct applications to the university. This will be for the university you believe you can achieve their entry criteria, their entry requirements. The time between application submission and start receiving the offer might vary between the universities. We will do the follow-ups if there are any delays, okay? Once you receive the offer, we expect them to be conditional at the moment because you are still studying your foundation. The university will keep the place for you until you complete the foundation to meet the entry requirements, and we will be sure that they are aware of that, okay? After meeting the requirements, of course, we will provide the last official transcript from the college so the university know that you achieved whatever they are asking for. Then you will proceed to pay the deposit or the fees if it's needed. And then the university will guide us through all the process to get the cards, apply for visa, and finally successfully enroll at the university. Okay, so those will be the main steps. So application methods. International students, like all of you, have two different options. One option is go through Ucas. And Ucas, I add you the logo here so you are getting familiar with that because you will see it quite frequently. So Ucas is the University and College Admission Service in the UK. It's a system that was created for the home students and is the one they use to apply to the universities when they are ready to do so. International students are allowed to use that system as well. The system lets you apply to 5 different universities at the same time. And you have to pay a small fee. So if you're applying to just one university, you have to pay £20. And if you want to apply to between 2 and 5 universities, you have to pay £26. This payment is not for us. This payment is for Ucas. And when the application is ready to be submitted, we will let you know. We will send you the login details, everything, and you proceed with the payment and you will pay directly to Ucas, okay? Ucas have different deadlines to submit the applications. One of the deadlines that is relevant for all of you is 26th of January, 2022. I guess Mr. Lee is worried about this deadline because of course it's approaching and we would like the students to apply before that. This deadline is mainly for home students, for British students, it's not for international students, but it's okay if you want to apply beforehand. Pharmacy courses are very popular in the UK, so they might get, they might get the full on early stages of the year. So it's better to be sure that you have submitted the application before January if you want. And just to be tranquil the rest of the academic year, just waiting for the responses from the universities. For international students, the deadline is 30th of June, 2022. I know it's far away and we are not aiming to apply until that day. As I mentioned, the earliest you can apply is much better. For example, the students that start in January from you, Mr. Lee, if they cannot make it before January for the deadline, or any of your students, still we can apply after 26th of January, it's not a problem. But if everything is ready before the 26th of January, we will be able to submit applications. It's okay with us, okay? Normally with these applications is online. We will guide you through all the process. You don't need to do anything. We will take all the details. We will give you all the steps by detail. And the application will be tagged to us. So the universities can offer us dedicated service and they will know from the beginning they are students from Kaplan, and we can consult directly with the universities if there is any delay or if there is any problem with the application. So we can handle the situation for you. So don't worry about it. From the list of the universities I show you, I will go back to that list later on, but some universities you don't need to apply through Ucas because you are an international student. So you can apply directly. So we got like an agent access to the university. So they create some portals for us and we are able to apply directly to the university because you are an international student. So for some universities, we use their portal or we send PDF forms applications directly to them and they can assess your application if it's needed. In this case, with these methods, we will need to apply one by one to each university that you are going to apply. With Ucas, you apply to 5 universities at the same time. With one application, all the can go to 5 different universities. Direct applications, you don't need to pay any fee. They don't have fixed deadlines. The only thing for these universities is if the program gets full, they don't receive extra applications. So again, the earliest we can apply to the universities is better to avoid disappointments and just to be sure that there is a place there guarantee for the student, even if it is conditional or not, okay? These direct applications sometimes have conditions, and I refer to the condition is because, for example, Strathclyde University is one of the best universities in pharmacy in the UK, and they are very popular. Sometimes a student prefer just to apply to Strathclyde and that's it. So we can apply directly to them using their portal. We have access to their portal and apply directly. We don't need to use Ucas. But if the student want to apply to another university that requires Ucas, then the option to apply directly through Strathclyde is not possible. We have to add Strathclyde in Ucas to be able to apply, okay? So, but all this information, we will let you know at the time we are applying for you. So you don't need to be worried if you have to use Ucas or direct. So we will find the best option or the best method for you to apply to the university, okay? When students are applying by the first deadline, 26th of January, the universities have a deadline as well to apply to reply to the students. So the latest the university can reply to you is 19th of May. That is the deadline for the universities for the students that apply by 26th of January. Okay, you might receive offers before, it's not a problem, but if at the end you are still waiting for 2 or 1 university to reply to you, then the deadline for the university will be 19th of May, okay? Every application that goes after 26th of June, then again, the universities will have a deadline and their deadline will be 14th of July. Again, you can receive offers beforehand, but if at the end any university is delaying the reply, then they have the deadline for them will be 14th of July to make a decision for the students. So we will know what happened. As soon as you finish the course with Kaplan, we will know, of course, if you progress to Nottingham University. That is the ideal picture. And if that is the case, we will cancel or the Ucas or direct application is not a problem. If you don't progress to Nottingham, then we will see which one are the options you have available at the moment, which universities offer you a conditional offer. And depending on the outcome of your foundation, we will decide which university you can finally accept at the end, okay? So we will do the follow-up on that. Okay, so I know my colleague Kane is here with us. He can introduce himself in a minute. But Kane is our counselor here. Hello, Kane. Hello. So Kane is, as I mentioned at the beginning, in each of the colleges for Kaplan, we have a dedicated counselor to help the students with the university placement. So his role will include the progression to Nottingham as well, because of course the college have several activities to allow the students to engage with the host university, in this case Nottingham. But if not, as we mentioned, plan B, again, the main contact point for tuning will be Kane. And he will be talking to students directly, collecting the documents, following up the applications, explaining step by step what they have to do. And of course, you will be guided all the way through. You are not going to be alone. So you just keep the communication with us. If you need me to get involved in any of the application processes, I will be supporting Kane from the back. And of course, we will work together and we will be sure that all the applications are going through and the students are receiving offers as we expected. Okay. So these are our contact details, but mainly will be Kane, and these are mine, just in case if you need to contact me at some point. But Mr. Lee, you got my contact details already, so any questions or something, just feel free to let me know, and I will be more than happy to assist if it's needed. Okay.
Yeah. Okay,
so thank you very much. That is
okay,
the information so far. Just let me know if you have any questions or something that you want me to show up again.
Okay. So, actually, I have some questions. So, actually, it was really helpful. Kane's helped our students a lot. So, most of my students successfully progressed to Nottingham, but two of my students progressed to Cardiff. But it was a problem getting the IELTS 7.0. But Kane successfully negotiates with Cardiff University, so it's my student is progress to Cardiff University without IELTS. So just so EA, please, your internal English, language score. So you would be very helpful if you negotiate the more universities, UK university, because it's quite challenging to get in as a IELTS 7.0 and prepare for interview and then take another IELTS in the UK. So it is really time consuming. So I hope you work more harder, and then so I hope
we work very. It's good that you are at that point, Mr. Lee, because this slide that I show you, the two slides with the list of the universities, or they state the academic grade for entry requirement, additional requirements, and the English, what they are the universities are expecting. So normally universities will release the conditional offer saying what is official for the university to entry there. But of course, at the end of the academic year, the universities will reconsider those entry criteria, and if they need to, or if they want to accept borderline student, or for example, they are asking for IELTS instead of the language, the Kaplan language scores, we can talk to the university and see if they can reconsider and accept the student. That is one of the benefits that you do, or your students do the applications through us, because we have a strong links with the admission team, so we can talk to them directly and see and liaise and see if they can be more flexible with the entry requirements. But of course, at the beginning, because it's the entry requirement for everyone, the offer letter will state what is what is public in the web page. They cannot change for the Kaplan students, but internally we can have additional conversation with the universities if it's needed to see if they can consider students when they are borderline.
Okay. Yeah. So I find out some so university has got cap. So in certain university like Sandra, they has got cap as a certain 30 for some EMPAM, and then Brighton has got some similar one. So do you have information about this? Because as I have
the universities I add in this list is because they are happy to consider additional applications for international students. I add Brighton here because I know, of course, they are our host universities. In previous years, we applied to Brighton as an alternative for the pharmacy students, but unfortunately, since last year, they start a revision of the program and they decide that they cannot accept more students from another Kaplan providers. They just accept students to pharmacy from our college in Brighton. So I just wanted to clarify to you that it's here, they offer physio, and you might hear before our students apply there, but from this year it's not possible. We have to delete that from our options, but I put it there just in case, because you might say, oh, but before my students apply, yeah, before, yeah, but from this year is not possible. And all these universities, of course, accept the students. We don't have a specific cap saying we are going to accept only 5 students from Kaplan. No, we don't have cap with these students. But of course, as I mentioned, pharmacy is very popular. The earliest we apply is better for our students. And then as soon as they receive a conditional offer, it's like a kind of guarantee that there is a place reserved for them there. Okay, if we submit the application late and the course is already full, the university will let us know and say the course is full, we cannot do anything. Okay, and of course within the conversations we have with the universities, they will know exactly when the students are going to finish the degree. So the entry requirement deadline will be related to that day, because if the student finishes in September and the university said you have to provide the final scores for the foundation in May, it doesn't work for us. We need to talk to the university and say to them, the student will receive the final scores in August or July. So we clarify all that in the application form so they know exactly when the student is finishing the course, and again, avoid disappointments to say, oh, you applied late or you provide the final scores late, then we cannot accept the students. So that won't be the case, hopefully.
Okay, so yeah, so I'm making sure students to apply as early. So that's why we arranged this Ucas as a meeting. So what second common question is well, students starting in January is they quite late. So so how, but so Ucas deadline for UK students is 26th of January. So whereas some students want to apply before 26th of January, because but so to only just arrive the Nottingham Foundation program. So how do you recommend for this kind of students? And do you recommend to apply later, or is apply as soon as possible?
As I mentioned, 26th of January is the deadline for home students. It's not for international students. But of course, the deadline is there on the Ucas webpage, and everyone starts to panic and say, oh no, we need to apply before 26th of January. As for international students, we are able to submit applications after 26th of January. Is not a problem. So, but if you feel that it might not be the case, or the students and parents or the student itself, they are worried that maybe the application is too late, we can start to liaise with the students before they start the course in Kaplan. Let us say, like, you can ask them to start prepare the personal statement for us. Normally the academic reference is more than a reference. Is like a generic template that we provide to the universities to start the application, because of course an academic references, the universities are expecting some kind of details of which type of a student is the one that is applying. So within the agreements we got with the universities, they are happy to accept our references initially, and if they want more details later on, when the student already start the course and have an academic engagement with the college, we can provide something additional later on. But there is no need on earlier stages. So we can prepare those documents for your students that are starting in January. They can start to do the personal statement. And if they are ready to submit the application, let us say in December or early January, we can do it for them, because it's quite straightforward. As long as Kane is aware of which students are going to definitely start in January the course with us, then we can go ahead with the applications. As far as I know, there are only 2 at the moment doing the foundations, and the rest will come in January. Is that correct?
Sorry.
Yeah.
So how many at the moment? I think 2 students are at the college doing the foundation or start the foundation already. 2 of your students, or no, none of them?
So I don't quite understand.
So no, what I'm saying is because you are worried about the students that are going to start in January.
Yeah.
How many are those?
Oh, or let me count it. It's about 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many start already the foundation from your agent? How many are in Nottingham at the moment?
At the moment, you mean student number starting September?
Yep.
So we're say 9.
Okay. Okay. So maybe the next action point for us will be if you can send us, Kane and me, the list of the students that start in September and the list of students that are going to start in January. If the students are happy to share their contact details with us, so we will contact them directly.
Okay.
Through, we can arrange a Zoom call or through WeChat or WhatsApp, whatever is easier for them. And we can start collecting the documents and start to prepare the applications for them. We can keep you in the loop, Mr. Lee, so you are aware what is happening with the students. Before we decide which university they are going to apply for, we will let you know. If you are happy with that selection of the universities, then we will proceed and submit the applications for them.
Okay. Thank you so much. Already, in South Korea, I helping helping them with personal statement how to fill out Ucas form. So after this, also I give Korean Korean Ucas application video by myself. So I just needed your information, so how you help me some for Ucas. So how about this so student so were January student so student were just so 1 week or 2 weeks, and then so when they completing application, how other universities so judge the student actually your judge your reference or predicted grade. So
okay, so
do you know what I mean? Yeah.
So you want to know the deadlines, yeah?
Yeah, I mean,
or when the university is going to reply to the student.
Yeah, I mean, it's what I'm asking is, students starting in January. So if students completed their Ucas form 26th of January, they only stayed with you of a couple of weeks. So and then when you fill out the application form and then giving predicted grade, so still other university so accepted the student you recommended because it's stated only 2 weeks.
Yeah, as I mentioned, if you want them to start the application from now, even before they start the course with us in January, then if you send us the list of your students, so we can contact them, they can start to prepare the personal statement, they can have everything ready. We can prepare the academic the reference for them that we are going to send through Ucas. And of course, if they are ready before 26th of January, even though they have been with us 2 weeks, we can submit the applications. It's not a problem if you are worried about the 26th of January deadline.
Yeah.
If they cannot make it because there are delays, they haven't finished the personal statements, or they didn't pay the Ucas application on time or something, still we can submit the applications after 26. It's not a problem. So it's not a hurry that they have to do it before 26th of January. It's not a problem. We apply to pharmacy courses until June. It's not the ideal, but always you have specific cases that are last minute queries. Please apply for me, and sometimes we reach June and we are still applying to pharmacy. But of course, the earliest we can apply will be better, so we can start preparing for the students that are going to start in January from your agency. It's not a problem.
Well, so really, this is really a bit specific question. So some of my students want to, applying for UCL and then King's College in London. So I know it's really extremely difficult to solve. So you mentioned this, they are not likely accepting students. So, well, I know it's a little bit the reason, but can you explain why they don't, normally accept some other foundation program?
The thing is, of course, this type of universities, sometimes they prefer students doing A-levels rather than foundation, the pathway courses. Doesn't mean that the course at the college doesn't offer the level they are required, they are expecting. But of course, this type of universities, they don't work with third parties. They do all the preparation internally for the students, and they totally trust and believe that the A-levels preparation is what they are looking for the students that are going to progress to those universities. Unfortunately, because they don't accept third parties' involvement in the applications, they don't give us additional feedback of why they don't want to consider our students or something. It's not a point of discussion with them. Of course, for some students, it's frustrating because they feel like it's us that we don't want to apply for those universities, but it's not the case. We can apply if they say, no, but I'm determined, I want to apply. And as I mentioned, the entry requirements sometimes change from one year to another. So if definitely they want to go for that university, we can add it into the Ucas because it has to be through Ucas. So it's one choice that they can use out of 5. And, if the university reject the student, is nothing that we can do. We cannot talk to the university about it or liaise and try to persuade them, because it's not the case. The kind of assessment they do for the application is out of our hands, and in that case we just will be able to submit the application and hope that they give the student an offer, and if not, it's a rejection. But from the previous year, from the experience we have in our previous year, we haven't had any student going to those universities because they reject the applications straight away. So,
yeah.
But as I mentioned, if they want to add it to the choices, it's up to them. If they want to have a go and see if they are lucky, and they might consider the student, but if not.
Kane, so you helped my student in student application last year. So have you seen someone who joined some kind of top university from your foundation?
No, because they have been rejected. So, but as I mentioned, some students are reluctant and say, but I want to apply there. Why you don't want me to apply to that university? No, it's not because I don't want it. It's because by experience, I know they are not going to accept them. But if they want to add it to the Ucas form, they can add it. It's not an option. It's not a rejection or something. They can add it, and we will see what the university says. But from our experience, we don't have students from the Kaplan Foundation going to those universities before.
Also, some students who's Nottingham has a 3-term course and a 2-term course. So 3-term course is a student develop their English, and then they start in January. Do you know this course?
Sorry, say again. I don't get what
Where
you're
is it?
asking for.
Yeah, the pharmacy foundation has got two routes. So one route is a 3-term course. The other one is a 2-term course.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so 3-term course is includes English language and then enhancement, and then a couple of science subjects, and then math, and then they start foundation from January. So in this case, student, they didn't have any scores, just pass or fail for term 1, and then they applied for Ucas. In this case, you can still provide the predicted grade, and then other university accept your
Yeah,
grade.
the universities and UCAS, there is an option to add the predicted grades, but it's not a compulsory section. Okay, so as you mentioned, students, if they are doing 3 terms, they will start the foundation course, the main modules, they will start it from the 2nd term rather than the first one, because the first term is just English enhancement. They improve academic skills before they go into the main program. So it's not fair with the students to provide the predicted grades at the beginning, because we might undermine the potential of the students. Say, no, there are many things that can affect the student engagement at the beginning of the course, and they might not show a lot of potential at the beginning, but in the 2nd term, they really, demonstrate that they are capable, they are good students, and they increase the academic performance. So to give a predicted grades to the university is not fair on early stages, because we don't know really what the student is capable of. So we don't normally add predicted grades to the UCAS application. If they insist that they want predicted grades, we will contact the university directly, and we will provide additional information according to what is the academic performance for the student. But of course, we are not going to let the student down, saying, no, we don't believe this student is strong enough for the course. Of course, we will commit with the university to say the student is capable and is engaging well with the course and is attending the classes, as is active with the activities at the college. So we can provide some kind of information to the university, but after that is down to the student to demonstrate to the transcripts that is strong enough to go to the university. So we can play a little bit with those predicted grades on the application. But as I mentioned, in UCAS, it's not compulsory to add that information, so we don't add it at the beginning, unless later on the university ask again for that, and we will provide some additional details later on.
So you give a predicted grade, and then so after application, so the university student applied for contact you. So whether it's student, okay, so it's I didn't know this. Oh, it's good.
No, it's not fair with the students. So, and some people think that they have to complete that section in UCAS, but it's not compulsory. You don't have to.
Okay. So I have questions. So my student is one of the students is just finished the high school, but so you accepting as a high school from.
Sorry, I think my internet stopped for a minute. So
okay.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah. So you some student in Canada, so student can directly apply for Nottingham and PAM with a foundation program. So what is the requirement for this kind of student studying in Canadian education?
Our market or my expertise is only in the UK. I don't have information about Canada, I'm afraid, Mr. Lee.
Yeah.
So, it's something that we will need to explore, but it's as I mentioned, it's not under my expertise, so I cannot give you details about it.
Okay, so can a student apply through Ucas and directly to desired university, or are they only allowed to choose one application method? So I can answer this.
Okay, so what happened? The majority of the pharmacy courses or the university that offer pharmacy, the majority prefer go through Ucas. So if that is the case, with Ucas, the students have an opportunity to apply to 5 different universities. So it's a wide range of universities to apply for. So in that case, we will go for that option and we don't go to the direct applications. We will leave the direct applications as an alternative of the plan B as well. Because of course, if the student applied to 5 universities and the 5 universities reject the student, or we start to receive rejections, then we will say, okay, let us apply through direct method to another university, so at least the student can have a couple of offers available to decide to. We don't do both at the same time, because the student need to focus in what are the choices, so and which one will be his or her priorities. So within the 5 choices we have in Ucas.
Hello, more line.
One, so at least.
So Sandra, you are disconnected. So can you repeat that, please?
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. Let me go 1 second because I don't know. Let me change them.
잠깐 얘기해드리면 유카스는 그 유카스 통해서 5개 학교 지원할 수 있고, 그 다음에 인터내셔널 학생들 같은 경우는 유카스 통하지 않고 다이렉트로 지원서를 보내기도 하거든요. 그래서 작년에 저희 학생도 그 두 학교만 선택해가지고 지원했던 경우도 있어요. 그래서 다이렉트도 가능하다, 그렇게 생각하시면 될 것 같고요. 그 다음에 캐나디안 그 성적에 대해서 파운데이션 입학을 위해서는 캐네디안 성적 75%를 이 11학년 시 75%를 요구를 한다고 하는데, 다이렉트는 지금 노팅홈 웹사이트라든지 이런 데를 보고 확인을 좀 해야 될 것 같아요. 근데 일부 학교를 보면 좀 그저 톱 학교들은 80%에서 85% 캐나디안 GPA를 요구하거든요. 하이스쿨 GPA를 요구하거든요. 그래서 굉장히 좀 스트릭트해요. 그래서 어떤 학생들 같은 경우는 85%를 요구를 했는데 잉글리시가 85%가 안 되고 한 84% 정도 됐고, 나머지는 다 물론 다 85% 됐는데 그걸 거절을 하더라고요. 그래서 정확히 그죠, 요구하는 것을 웹사이트를 보고 아니면 이메일 보내서 확인하고 그렇게 지원을 좀 해야 돼요. 그죠? 네, 그러면 좀 답변이 됐을까요? Okay, so
Okay, so I'm back.
Okay, so anything else you can add for Korean student, our student? Yeah. Also,
I don't know if they have any
Kane
other question. I don't know.
Yeah.
Kane, if you can introduce yourself, at least they can hear your voice.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so my name is Kane. So I'm in charge of the EPS at Tunic. So if you are in the college, you will see me in the reception area. And yeah, if you want to talk to me, you can just come to talk to me. And yeah, my contact detail is on the PowerPoint. Yeah, so add me on WeChat or WhatsApp so I can directly talk to you. Yeah, okay.
Thank you very much, Kane. So last year my student was got a lot of support from yourself, especially arranging target students. Yeah, thank you. Okay,
No
so
another thing I maybe just wanna add, Mr. Lee, is if your students are going to apply through Ucas, we don't need to add Nottingham as one of the choices, okay? all our students, all the Tunic students already have a conditional offer for Nottingham and nobody is going to touch that offer. Okay, so the students, they don't need to apply again to Nottingham through Ucas. They don't. If they do it by mistake, it will confuse the university and it might cause problems later on. So please, we will guide you through all the process with you, because you don't need to be worried about it. Our team have the expertise to do all that. And but just to be clear, and if you can tell the students, they don't need to add Nottingham to the list. It's not that there is no need to do that. Okay.
It's very good news. So 노팅엄에서 파운데이션을 하고 있는 학생들은 유카스를 쓸 때 5개 학교를 쓰잖아요. 근데 노팅엄을 이 5개 하나에 포함을 시키는 필요 없다라는 거예요. 그래서 5개 학교를 다 그런 학교를 다 지원하고 노팅엄 5코까지 받을 수 있다고 얘기를 하는 거예요. 그래서 총 6개 학교를 지원을 할 수 있다고 말씀하고 있네요. 그래요. 그러면 도움이 되셨길 바라고요. 그다음에 제가 조금 정리를 좀 할게요. 제가 다시 번역을 하고 통역을 하고 하기에는 시간이 너무 지루할 것 같아가지고 바로 진행을 했거든요. 그래서 제가 충분히 제 학생들이 얘기하는 부분에 대해서 제가 충분히 그저 질문했고, 저 자신도 좀 헷갈렸던 부분 다시 질문했거든요. 그래서 이걸 정리해서 다시 알려드릴 테니까요. 그렇게 생각을 하시면 될 것 같아요. 그래서 약속드렸던 시간이 딱 1시간이니까 지금 여기서 마칠게요. Thank you very much, Sandra and then Kane. Thank you. Also, I'm looking forward to your support for our students. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
No problem. You're welcome, and please contact us at any time if you have any further questions or anything. And Mr. Lee, if you can send the list of the students to Kane, so he can highlight them, and then we can start the process as early as they want.
Okay. Thank you so much. And so I'm really happy you can get my student list and then you can personally support my student. Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Take care. Have a good day.
Okay.
No problem.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. 그러면 이걸로 마치도록 하겠습니다. 감사합니다.